Welcome to Pakistan. A country that barely makes it onto travel bucket lists, yet it holds some of the most breathtaking landscapes, ancient wonders, and hidden treasures the world has ever seen. A place where towering peaks touch the sky, where history whispers through ancient ruins, and where nature unfolds in ways you wouldn't believe. But why don't we hear about it? Why does the media show only one side of the story? And what if I told you that this country is home to the second highest mountain on Earth, a desert where a fort stands like a mirage, and a lake so blue it looks unreal? This is Pakistan, one of the most underrated places on the planet. And today, we're uncovering 20 incredible wonders that prove it deserves a spot on the world stage. Hunza Valley. If there is a place that feels like a gateway to paradise, it is Hunza Valley. Surrounded by some of the world's highest peaks, including Rakaposhi, Altasar, and Ladyfinger Peak, Hunza is a land where nature, culture, and history blend seamlessly. In spring, the valley is awash with cherry and apricot blossoms, turning the landscape into a dreamscape of soft pink and white. In autumn, the hills glow with shades of gold and red. As the trees shed their leaves in preparation for winter, the people of Hunza, known for their legendary hospitality and long lifespans, welcome travelers with open arms, their stories as rich as the land they call home. One of the valley's most famous landmarks is Eagle's Nest, a viewpoint that offers a panoramic view of Hunza's snow-capped peaks and winding rivers. As the sun sets behind the mountains, casting shadows across the valley, it becomes clear why Hunza is often called heaven on earth. But beyond the breathtaking scenery, Hunza is also home to centuries-old forts, ancient Buddhist carvings, and the remnants of the Silk Road, a reminder of its historical importance as a crossroads of trade and culture. Fairy Meadows. Tucked away at the base of Nanga Parbat, the 9th highest mountain in the world, lies Fairy Meadows, a place so enchanting that its name alone captures the imagination. The journey to reach it is not for the faint of heart. After a rough jeep ride along one of the most dangerous roads in the world, visitors must trek through dense alpine forests and meadows before finally arriving at one of the most breathtaking campsites on Earth. Here, the land opens up into a vast green expanse where wildflowers sway in the breeze and wooden cabins sit in the shadow of Nanga Parbat's towering, ice-covered slopes. As night falls, the sky comes alive with thousands of stars, unpolluted by city lights, creating a view so spectacular that it feels unreal. The mountain itself, often called the Killer Mountain, looms above, its sheer rock faces and snow-covered ridges glowing under the moonlight. Badshahi Mosque. Standing in the heart of Lahore, surrounded by the echoes of a bygone era, is Badshahi Mosque, one of the largest and most breathtaking mosques in the world. Built in 1673 by the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, this mosque is a masterpiece of Mughal architecture, its red sandstone walls and massive domes a testament to the grandeur of an empire that once ruled much of South Asia. As you step through its massive entrance, the sheer scale of the mosque is overwhelming. The courtyard alone can hold over 100,000 worshippers, making it one of the largest in the world. The inside, adorned with intricate marble inlays, calligraphy, and floral patterns, reflects the artistic brilliance of the Mughals. But beyond its beauty, Badshahi Mosque carries centuries of history, from royal gatherings to battles that have raged just outside its gates. It has witnessed conquests, revolutions, and the rise and fall of empires, yet it stands as a symbol of resilience, faith, and architectural excellence. Faisal Mosque. If Badshahi Mosque is a symbol of the Mughal era, then Faisal Mosque represents modern Islamic architecture at its finest. Located in Islamabad, against the backdrop of the Margala Hills, this mosque is unlike any other in the world. Instead of the traditional domes and minarets, Faisal Mosque's sleek tent-like structure and towering spires create a futuristic yet spiritual atmosphere. Commissioned in 1976 and funded by King Faisal of Saudi Arabia, the mosque is one of the largest in the world, capable of accommodating over 100,000 worshippers. Inside, its minimalist design enhances the sense of space and serenity, while the golden chandeliers and marble calligraphy add a touch of elegance. But what makes Faisal Mosque truly special is its location. Perched at the foot of the Margala Hills, where the city meets the wilderness. At sunset, when the sky turns shades of pink and orange, the mosque glows under the fading light, making it one of the most photographed landmarks in Pakistan. Neelam Valley. In the far north of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, nestled between towering peaks and winding rivers, lies Neelam Valley, a place so lush and untouched that it seems almost mythical. The valley stretches for over 200 kilometers, its landscapes shifting between dense pine forests, cascading waterfalls, and crystal-clear rivers that cut through deep gorges. The Neelam River itself is a sight to behold, its waters an impossible shade of blue, reflecting the endless sky above. Villages dot the valley, their wooden houses perched on green hillsides, surrounded by blooming flowers in spring and heavy snowfall in winter. The sounds of rushing water, rustling leaves, and birdsong fill the air, creating a place that feels far removed from the rest of the world. But Neelam Valley is more than just a beautiful escape. It is a land of history, where ancient wooden mosques and centuries-old ruins still stand, whispering stories of the past. From Shada Peeth, a sacred site for Hindus, to the remote villages where traditions have remained unchanged for generations. Every corner of Neelam Valley holds a secret waiting to be discovered. Atabad Lake. Born out of destruction, Atabad Lake is a testament to nature's ability to create beauty even in the wake of disaster. In 2010, a massive landslide buried several villages in Hunza Valley, blocking the Hunza River and forming what is now one of Pakistan's most breathtaking lakes. The tragedy displaced thousands of people, but what emerged from the catastrophe is a sight that seems almost too perfect to be real. The deep turquoise waters, surrounded by towering cliffs and snow-draped peaks, create a landscape so stunning that it feels otherworldly. What was once a valley is now a boating paradise, where locals and travelers alike sail across the calm, glassy waters. Beneath the surface lie the remains of the villages that once stood there, silent, submerged relics of a world that existed before the landslide changed everything. Saiful Maluk. Tucked away in the Kargan Valley, surrounded by jagged peaks and lush green meadows, lies Saiful Maluk, a lake so beautiful, so hauntingly serene, that it feels like something out of a dream. The water is crystal clear, reflecting the towering Malika Parbat mountain above, making it seem as though the sky itself has fallen into the lake. But Saiful Maluk is more than just a natural wonder. It is a place of legend and mystery. Local folklore tells of a Persian prince who fell in love with a fairy princess who lived in the lake's depths. It is said that on certain moonlit nights, the fairies still dance on the water's surface, their whispers carried by the wind. Whether one believes the legend or not, standing by the lake at dawn, as the first rays of sunlight turn the water into a mirror of gold and silver, it is impossible not to feel a sense of magic in the air. K2. K2 high above the world, where oxygen is scarce, temperatures are unforgiving, and survival is a test of sheer will. K2 stands as one of the most dangerous mountains on Earth. At 8,611 meters, 28,251 feet, it is the second highest peak in the world, but in terms of danger, it surpasses all others. Unlike Everest, which has become a well-trodden path for climbers, K2 remains a mountain that only the boldest dare to challenge. For every 4 climbers who attempt it, 1 does not return. The ascent is ruthless, the weather unpredictable, and the terrain a vertical maze of ice, rock, and death-defying drops. Yet, for those who reach its peak, K2 rewards them with a sight few human eyes have seen: a world of untouched glaciers and a silence so profound it feels like standing on the edge of existence. Rotas Fort. For over 500 years, Rotas Fort has stood tall and undefeated, a testament to the military genius of Sher Shah Suri. Built in the 16th century, it was designed to be an impenetrable fortress, a stronghold that could withstand any siege, any invasion. And it did. Despite the passage of time, despite the many battles fought in the region, Rotas Fort was never conquered. The sheer scale of its construction is staggering. Its 12 colossal gates, made of limestone and bricks, still stand unshaken, towering over the landscape like silent guardians of history. The walls stretch for miles, enclosing what was once a thriving military outpost. Soldiers once stood watch here, scanning the horizon for enemies. War elephants roamed its courtyards. Kings and generals planned their strategies within its chambers. Even now, as the world moves forward, Rotas Fort remains unchanged, a living monument to the power and resilience of the past. Shalimar Gardens. Built in 1641 by Emperor Shah Jahan, the same visionary behind the Taj Mahal, the Shalimar Gardens of Lahore are a stunning example of Mughal landscaping and engineering. These gardens were not just built for beauty, they were designed as a symbol of paradise on earth, reflecting the Mughal love for symmetry, nature, and tranquility. The gardens are divided into 3 terraces, each representing a different level of paradise, with flowing water channels, marble fountains, and lush green orchards creating a mesmerizing effect. In the past, these gardens were a royal retreat, where emperors, poets, and musicians gathered to celebrate art, philosophy, and life itself. Today, visitors walk the same paths once graced by Mughal royalty, experiencing a timeless piece of history, preserved in the heart of Lahore. Baltit Fort. Rising above the Hunza Valley, Baltit Fort is a structure that seems frozen in time, its wooden balconies and Tibetan-style architecture standing against the backdrop of snow-capped mountains. Built over 700 years ago, this fort was once the seat of power for the rulers of Hunza, a stronghold that controlled trade routes and defended the valley from invaders. Walking through its narrow corridors and ancient halls, one can feel the weight of history in every creaking wooden beam. The fort's construction is a blend of Tibetan, Central Asian, and Mughal influences, reflecting the diverse cultures that passed through Hunza over the centuries. From the top, the view is nothing short of breathtaking, a panoramic sweep of mountains, glaciers, and rivers, a sight that has remained unchanged for generations. Baltit Fort is not just a historical site, it is a living monument to the resilience of a people who have thrived in one of the world's most remote and challenging landscapes. Hingol National Park. Deep within Balochistan, where the desert meets the sea, lies Hingol National Park, Pakistan's largest and most mysterious national park. This is a place where towering rock formations stand like ancient sentinels, where wildlife roams free, and where the earth itself seems to breathe through its steaming mud volcanoes. The landscape is unlike anything else in Pakistan, resembling an alien planet more than a piece of earth. Among Hingol's most famous wonders is the Princess of Hope, a naturally sculpted rock formation that, against all odds, resembles a woman standing gracefully against the horizon. It has stood for millennia, shaped only by the forces of wind and time. But perhaps even more fascinating are the Hingol mud volcanoes, the only active mud volcanoes in South Asia, spewing out warm, bubbling earth from deep within the planet. The entire region feels ancient, as if stepping into a time before human civilization, a world where nature still holds absolute dominion. Makran Coastal Highway. Few roads in the world offer a journey as surreal and breathtaking as the Makran Coastal Highway. This highway snakes along Pakistan's southern coastline, where the deep blue waters of the Arabian Sea stretch endlessly on one side, while bizarre, otherworldly rock formations rise like forgotten monuments on the other. Driving along this road is an experience unlike any other. The landscape shifts constantly. One moment, you're staring at a vast, endless sea. The next, you're passing through a stretch of land so barren and sculpted by time that it feels like driving across the surface of Mars. The Makran Coastal Highway is not just a road, it's a passage through some of the most dramatic and untouched landscapes in the world. Deosai National Park. At an altitude so high that the air feels thinner and the sky seems impossibly close, Deosai National Park stretches across the northern plains of Pakistan like an endless golden sea. For most of the year, this plateau is buried under thick snow, a frozen wilderness where silence reigns. But when summer arrives, something incredible happens. Deosai transforms into a land of wildflowers and endless green meadows, bursting with color, life, and movement. It is a world that feels untouched, a place where nature still commands absolute power. This vast expanse is not just about its breathtaking beauty. It is also home to the Himalayan brown bear, a species once thought to be on the brink of extinction. Here, they roam freely, alongside golden eagles soaring in the open sky, and marmots peeking from their burrows. The land feels sacred, untouched by time, where only the whispers of the wind and the rustling of grass break the stillness. Mohenjo-Daro. Over 4,000 years ago, long before the Egyptian pyramids stood in the desert, and before Rome laid the foundations of its empire, a great city flourished along the banks of the Indus River. Mohenjo-Daro was one of the most advanced civilizations of its time, a metropolis that had wide roads, public baths, multi-story homes, and an underground drainage system so sophisticated that modern urban planners still marvel at its ingenuity. It was a city built with purpose, designed for efficiency, and centuries ahead of its time. Then, without warning, it vanished. The people of Mohenjo-Daro left behind no weapons, no signs of war, only silent streets and abandoned homes. Was it a natural disaster that swallowed the city whole? Was it an enemy no one saw coming? The ruins still stand today, whispering their secrets to those who walk among them. The Great Bath, where ancient rituals may have taken place, is eerily well preserved, as are the thousands of brick structures that make up what was once a bustling metropolis. Walking through its remnants feels like stepping through a portal into a lost world, one that existed when most of the world was still in the Stone Age. This wasn't just a city, it was one of humanity's first great urban experiments. Taxila. To stand in Taxila is to stand where history, knowledge, and cultures collided. Over 2,500 years ago, this city was a thriving hub of learning and trade, a place where Greeks, Persians, Indians, and Buddhists met, exchanged ideas, and left their mark. Alexander the Great himself walked these streets, followed by Buddhist monks who spread their teachings far and wide. It was home to one of the world's first universities, where scholars studied everything from medicine to astronomy, politics to philosophy. Today, what remains of Taxila are the ruins of a city that once held the wisdom of the world. Grand stupas still stand, silent witnesses to the spiritual devotion that once filled this land. Ancient sculptures, carved with meticulous detail, tell the stories of an era when Taxila was the center of enlightenment. Traders from China, India, and Rome once filled its markets, exchanging silk, spices, and artifacts, making it one of the most important cities of its time. Even now, as archaeologists continue to uncover relics buried beneath the earth, Taxila's story is far from over. Derawar Fort. In the heart of the Kholistan Desert, where sand dunes stretch endlessly and the wind whispers through the barren landscape, Derawar Fort rises like a mirage. Its massive, symmetrical bastions, standing 30 meters, 98 feet high, form a perfect circle, creating a sight so surreal that it feels like something out of an Arabian legend. Originally built in the 9th century, the fort was later taken over and expanded by the rulers of Bahawalpur, turning it into one of the most formidable fortresses of the desert. But Derawar is not just a fort. It is a story of power, survival, and forgotten empires. Beneath its walls lies a hidden network of tunnels, some rumored to stretch for miles, used for defense and escape during times of siege. Even today, the fort remains largely untouched, its corridors echoing with the footsteps of history. Fairy Meadows is more than just a scenic wonder. It is a place that tests one's spirit. It is a land where adventure meets tranquility, where travelers, mountaineers, and dreamers alike come to witness one of the most awe-inspiring views on the planet. Ranikot Fort. Deep in the Sindh province, hidden among rolling hills and arid landscapes, lies Ranikot Fort, the largest fort in the world, yet one of the least known. Often called Pakistan's Great Wall, this fort stretches for 26 kilometers, its walls snaking over hills and valleys in an almost endless loop. But despite its size, the origins of Ranikot remain a mystery. Some historians believe it was built by the Persians. Others claim it was a defensive structure from the Talpur dynasty. What is certain is that its sheer scale and design make it one of the greatest architectural wonders of the ancient world. Walking through its massive gates, one can't help but wonder, who built this fortress, and what were they protecting? The walls, standing tall for centuries, hold secrets that may never be fully uncovered. Pakistan, with its majestic mountains, ancient civilizations, architectural wonders, and vibrant cultures, stands as a testament to resilience and beauty. Each landscape and monument tells a story, inviting you to explore and experience the rich tapestry of its heritage. So, why not delve deeper? Share your thoughts in the comments, spread the word by sharing this journey with others, and subscribe to our channel for more explorations into the world's hidden gems. Don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated on our latest adventures.